Hey guys, fairly casual, laid back one today. I'm on the couch. We're going to do a video on 17 reasons to date younger women. This actually comes from a coaching call that I had with a client. He wanted to date younger women, like in the 18 to probably 21, 23 age range. But he had a lot of guilt surrounding that because he's in his 30s himself. Some of you will know that society, or a lot of people in society, have this weird notion that when you get to a certain age, you can't date anyone younger than some arbitrary number that they've just pulled out of their rectum. So we sat down, we had a coaching call. We sort of came up with a bunch of reasons why, almost to brainwash him into accepting that it's okay to date younger women. If you want to date younger women, fucking go for it. If you don't, why are you watching this video? Maybe it's just to see my sexy fucking face. So I've got a bunch of stuff written down. I'll just read off that. This is going to be a pretty laid back video. This is actually my first video, like proper video content for my website. So it's going to be a little rusty, rough around the edges. If you know me, you know that my premise is pretty much accept that you're going to suck, jump in, just do it. It'll be shitty at the start. You'll get better with time. Don't worry about perfection. So number one, wait, first I need a little fucking... Oh, that's fucking good. Number one, it's ethical. So generally speaking, younger girls will be pretty more laid back, pretty more comfortable with something casual. Most like 18 to 21-year-old girls are not looking for something super serious, especially if you live in like a Western country or a westernized kind of country or a big city. If you date girls more in your age group, like let's say you're a 30-year-old guy and you date women in their 30s, a large proportion of them are looking for something a little more serious. A lot of them are wanting to settle down. And even the ones that say to you, no, I just want, to have a bit of fun. I'm not looking for something serious. At least from my point of view, from my personal experience, there has always been this doubt in the back of my mind of, is she just saying that and hoping that one day I'll change my mind and it'll turn into something serious? Or there's the other thought of, is she saying that because she thinks she can't get something serious, but she thinks she wants it? So you're always kind of like, or at least I am, second guessing a lot of the older women, because that's turned out to be the case. I've dated a lot of women in their 30s and late 20s. And after 3 or so months, you start getting the questions of like, where is this going? Like, do you ever think that you would settle down? Like, will you ever stop seeing other, like all those kind of questions. And at that point, you have to sort of have the conversation and say, look, like I told you from the start, I didn't want anything serious. I'm not at that point that I wanted to date. And it's just extra drama is the way I see it. Now, if you want something serious, go for it. Like date older women if you want to. I would still advise you to date younger women for all the other reasons that we're going to see in the rest of this list. Like why would you date a 30-year-old woman if you could date a 23-year-old woman? Like it doesn't make any sense. Younger girls tend to be a lot more open, casual, that sort of thing. So if you say to them, I'm just looking for something serious, fuck yeah, let's go for it. So ethics. Dating younger women is more ethical. If you're looking for something casual or something like ongoing but not super serious. Now, again, if you're at the point in your life where you want something super serious, yeah, sure. Even then, I would still advise you go for younger women. Number 2, physically attractive. Find me any woman on planet Earth who looks better at 30 than she did at 20. Now, the caveats are she can't have been a complete train wreck at 20. If she was like obese at 20 and she lost like, 100 kilos, like that's different. Name me any woman who was relatively thin in her 20s and relatively thin in her 30s and looks better in her 30s. You won't find one. It doesn't work that way. That isn't the way that human nature is. That isn't the way that biology works. Younger women are just more attractive. Number 3, younger girls tend to be a little more fun and a lot more spontaneous. Older women tend to be a little more reserved. I'm like that myself. When I was 19, I would do all sorts of crazy shit. You could be like, hey, Andy, let's go fucking surf on top of a car while we drive down the freeway at 150 kilometers an hour. And I'd be like, fuck yeah, bro, let's fucking do it. That's sick. Let's do it. Fuck yeah. Younger women tend to be the same. You can be like, let's try this kinky fucking role play thing. Let's go on a road trip. Let's ditch our responsibilities and go have a bit of fun this weekend. And younger women will, for the most part, go along with that because they have a lot less responsibilities and older women has more responsibilities, just like I do in my 30s. I am now a lot less spontaneous. I'm still pretty fucking spontaneous. So if you're looking for something fun, something spontaneous, just someone who will say yes when you come up with an idea of like, hey, let's go on a road trip. Hey, let's like come over and we'll fucking have sex until 3 a.m. and not worry about how it will affect us tomorrow. Younger women are always better for that sort of stuff. I want to make it clear. I'll add in a pause here. I want to make it really clear. None of this is me hating on older women. If you want to date older women, fucking go for it. If you're an older woman and you've somehow found this video, I don't know why. No hate against you. Like, I'm an older guy myself. A lot of this shit applies to me too. Number 4. Well, this is pretty much like number 3. Look at me fucking cheating. I've added in ones that are exactly like the previous one. I'm such a fucking scumbag. I should rename this list 16 reasons to date younger women. I'm just padding it out here. So number 4 was they're more likely to do something completely unplanned, which is exactly the same as the previous one, really. As I said, like an older woman just has more responsibilities. She can't be just like fucking ditching everything and going on a road trip or staying up till 4 a.m. having sex if she has work the next morning. Just like I do a lot less of that stuff. But generally speaking, if you date younger girls, holy shit, I just thought of an extra one that I should have added in. Younger girls give you like an energy that an older woman won't give you. So if you've had a long week at work, you know, you're hustling, you're busting your ass, you just want to relax on the weekend. A younger girl can kind of give you that like carefree energy, whereas an older woman is going to match your energy a little more. And sometimes you don't want that. Like a lot of the reason that we date women is to get that nice, feminine, soft energy, that motivation to then go and crush it with your goals for the rest of the week. It's a lot harder and you are less likely to get that from older women, at least in my experience and the experience of every single person that I know and have ever met. So I guess that's everyone because I've met everyone in the whole world. Number 5, they tend to be more open to different types of relationships and partners. So if you're at a point in your life where you're not quite sure what you want in terms of dating, like maybe you don't know if you want to settle down yet, you don't know if you want monogamy, maybe you want to play around and have some threesomes. Younger women are a million times more likely to go along with what you're saying and be open to it and try it because they haven't tried it before. So if you say like, hey, let's try like threesomes and shit like that. Let's try an open relationship. Let's try a casual relationship. Let's try seeing each other once a week at the end of the week. Whatever you want, a younger woman is more likely to say yes because she probably hasn't tried that and is quite willing to see what it's like. An older woman, you have to screen a lot harder to find what you're looking for. So if you're looking for something casual, you can absolutely find that with a 30-year-old woman. You're just going to have to go through like 20 other women who probably won't want that. If you want threesomes and like an open relationship with a 30-year-old woman, you're probably going to have to get through 4 women who say no before you find one who says yes. Whereas my experience has been with younger girls, 75% of them will say yes to whatever you say. They'll at least try it, especially if you're nice about it, you're responsible about it, you care about their feelings, you make it clear that, you know, you're not just dragging them along and you're going to do whatever you want. They're far more likely to say yes than an older woman. On that note, number 6, younger girls tend to have less expectations and rules, like less hoops that you need to jump through versus a woman in her 30s or even late 20s. They tend to, like younger women tend to go with the flow a lot more. There's less like of a bucket list, like a checklist, less of a checklist that they require you tick off everything before they'll date you. They'll put up with you not being quite as perfect. And again, I completely understand where that comes from. Me in my 30s, I am so fucking fussy with girls. I am insanely fussy with girls at this point. There is like a long checklist of things they need to tick off before I will even ask for their phone number. And so I understand why older women are like that. They have every right to be. They're at a point where they are more responsible. They have more shit going on in their life. They can't afford to just get fucked around and waste time. I understand that. I completely understand that. But if you are looking for that fun, carefree energy and you want to date younger women, go for it. Remember, this video isn't necessarily, and maybe I should have made this more clear at the start. This video isn't me trying to convince you to date younger women. I absolutely should have made this more clear at the start. This is if you want to date younger women and you feel like guilty or weird, or you just want me to give you some reasons. So you're like, yeah, you know what? I am going to date younger women. I'm going to fucking go for it. Because that's exactly what the coaching call was like with my client. It was basically me saying, it's completely fine that you want to date younger women. Here are some good reasons why, so you can brainwash yourself and go out and actually fucking do it and stop beating yourself up. Number 7, younger women tend to be a lot more passionate during sex. Sex is usually better, not always, but usually better, and a lot more wild. And now I know that goes against the narrative. A lot of people, I don't want to say feminists, but like feminists do it. A lot of other people do it. Hollywood does it. Mainstream does it. A bunch of people will say like women in their 30s are the most sexually like kinky. They're the wildest. They can give you the wildest time. Fuck no. Now there are a lot of like wild 30-year-old women who are amazing in bed. Of course there are. But generally speaking, if you want an exciting, passionate time, it is the younger girls. Why? Because they tend to be less experienced. Obviously, you're going to be less experienced in your 20s than your 30s. So everything you do is new and novel and exciting to them. It's like taking someone to Disneyland for the first time. They're going to be like looking around going like, oh my God, Mickey Mouse, there's fucking Goofy over there. They're going to be tripping balls, right? They're going to be fucking just having the time of their life because they've never been to Disneyland before. Now, you take someone to Disneyland who's been there 50 times. Do you think they're going to be that excited? Do you think that you are going to have as good a time with them at Disneyland if they've already been 20 times? No. So sex tends to be a lot better with younger girls. It's just more novel and new and exciting and wild, and they tend to be more carefree. They want to try new things. They don't have any hang-ups, generally speaking. They'll be nervous to try new things, of course, but they don't tend to say like, nah, I tried that once and I didn't like it. You get to be their first sexual experience for a lot of things, like a lot of kinks and BDSM and a lot of the stuff that I talk about on my site. You will be the first person who's introduced them to that. And if you do a reasonable job, you don't have to be amazing, but if you care about their concerns, you care about their pleasure, again, don't be like over the top with any of that shit. But if you just give a shit about them having a good time, you can introduce them to things that they might have never tried if you met them at 30. Because I've met a lot of girls in their 30s, a lot of women in their 30s, and they will say, I'm not into anal sex, or I don't want to try gags. I don't want to be blindfolded. And I'll pry a little and be like, yeah, fair enough. Like, I'm not going to push you to do that if you don't want to do it. But like, I'm curious, like, how come? Have you tried it before? And they'll say like, yeah, I tried it before and I had a bad experience and I don't want to try it again. That's kind of what you're more likely to run into if you date women in their 30s versus like a 20-year-old has never tried it. So you get to, as long as you do a decent job, an okay job. And I have plenty of guides on my website about how to have sex, how to have anal sex, like how to try BDSM, all that shit. If you do a reasonably okay job, she's going to want to keep trying it with you. She's going to have a lot of fun. So less baggage. So number 8 is actually less baggage. Look at that fucking segue, son. Fuck yeah. Less baggage because they're less experienced. So they tend to be more open. They'll be a little less hardened by past experience. They will have less of like a shell built up. So that doesn't only apply in the bedroom. That's also outside. They'll be more likely, as I said before, to try different things, to go on adventures, more likely to listen to you in terms of, like, I wouldn't necessarily sit around talking about politics and stuff with girls, but like ethics, philosophy. They're more likely to listen to your point of view on that. The number of young girls that I have dated that start seeing me and say they're a hardcore feminist, my fucking girlfriend, when I first started seeing her, called herself a feminist and would talk about feminist points. But because they're young, they're more open-minded and less set in their ways, and they're more likely to listen to your points of views. My girlfriend right now is the most conservative fucking libertarian person you will ever meet in your entire life. Like, holy shit. She thinks like feminism is retarded. She thinks socialism is pure evil. She's halfway through Atlas Shrugged, if you know that book about libertarianism and all that sort of stuff. Like, she fucking loves that book. So younger girls tend to, like, I know a lot of people will take this the wrong way. Usually grumpy older women. And again, young older women, I have nothing against you, but a lot of grumpy older women will say like, oh, you just want a woman who won't like challenge you. You just want a girl who'll just roll over. It's like, yes. Guys want a woman who won't challenge them that much. A little bit of challenge, great, absolutely. Yes, you should push back a little bit. You should have principles. You should have values you stand up for. Guys don't want a naggy pain in the ass. Like, I don't understand why that's a difficult concept to get your head around. Yes, it is nice at the end of a hard fucking week as a man, because being a man is not fucking easy. At the end of a hard week, you want some nice, soft, feminine energy that is a little more agreeable than the fucking cold outside world. You don't want a battle-hardened fucking woman who is just grumpy and will argue and like yell at you with feminist talking points. And again, not every older woman is like that. Most older women are fucking nice, but you are more likely to get that nice, soft energy from younger women. So again, if you want to date younger women, this is another great reason why. If you want to date older women, fucking go for it. God knows I've dated a lot of older women myself, and some of them, maybe even most of them, have been absolutely wonderful human beings. But a lot of these qualities, you are more likely, a lot of the qualities I'm talking about, you are more likely to find in a younger woman, and she is more likely to have more of them. So older women can be a little spontaneous. They can have less baggage. They can be passionate in sex, but they are likely to be less of those things than a younger girl. It's like if you were looking for gold, you would go digging in a gold mine. You wouldn't go climb a tree and try and find some gold. You may find, maybe that's a shitty analogy, because you will find some of these qualities in older women. But generally speaking, if you're looking for something, go to the place where it is most plentiful. And a lot of these qualities, if these are the qualities that you look for in a woman, and I think a lot of these are pretty generally widely accepted, like positive qualities that a man is looking for, like spontaneity, open-mindedness, feminine energy, and all that. If you're looking for those things, you are more likely to find it with a younger woman. Again, if you want to date older women, fucking go for it. This article and this video are written for if you want to date younger women and you feel guilty or weird about it, and you would like some reasons as to why it is a good thing and why you're not a bad person because you want to date a fucking 18-year-old. The number of times I have gotten shit for dating 18-year-olds from like weird, insecure guys who are like, you're dating an 18-year-old, that's problematic. It's like, Jesus Christ, like what the fuck is wrong with you, you insecure little prick? Where are we at now? Number 9, more loyal. This is really good, by the way. This is like coffee. I only drink decaf because I'm a fucking weirdo and I'm super sensitive to caffeine. You put a little bit of cinnamon in there. Chef's kiss, boys. Chef's kiss. A little bit of cinnamon in your coffee is just like heaven. Like, holy fucking Christ. I don't even want to finish the rest of this list. Fuck this list. Fuck this video. I just want to drink this fucking coffee. It's like, it comes at you right at the end. Like, you can't taste the cinnamon at first, and then it hits you at the back. It's like, ooh, a little bit of spice. You're like, ooh, it's got some pushback. Ooh. It's like you're fucking a girl and you have your hand around her throat, and then she reaches up and puts her hand around your throat, and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect you to do it back. It's like, yeah, it's like my coffee is kicking me back. Oh. So number 9, they tend to be more loyal. That is not to say that a 30-year-old cannot be loyal. But an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, because she has less experience and because you are probably the guy that's teaching her a lot of things, like especially if you do what I do and mentor them and teach them about the world, talk to them, give them experiences that like a guy their age can't give them, and then also give them like decent sex, they tend to stick around a lot more. Like, I know that there's certain people who don't have a lot of experience will say like, are you serious? I would have thought like 18-year-olds would be less likely to stick around. It's like, read my retention guide on my website. If you don't know how to find that, go onto my website, search for retention. It's part 5 of the Tinder guide. It is very fucking in-depth. I talk about all this stuff. If you just do some of those things, like you're a decent person, your sex is decent, you teach girls certain things about the world, you listen to their problems. You don't have to do any of that over the top. Just a little bit goes a long way. If you do those things, 18-year-olds will just like cling to you like glue, because they probably haven't had those experiences. They probably haven't dated guys like that. The number of times I've had like 18 to 23-year-old girls say like, you're the first person who ever actually gave a fuck about any of my problems or actually just cared about me. Or you're the first person who ever tried to blindfold or choked me or pulled my hair or spanked my ass and, called me dirty names during sex. Or the number of girls who say like, I've always wanted to play around with other girls and like, I didn't even know how to make that happen. And you just made that happen for me. Like, thank you. Like they will stick around with you because they see you. If you do a reasonable job of all this stuff, don't have to be amazing, just a reasonable job. They see you as the guy who can kind of like open up the whole world to them. It's like you've opened a doorway and they can have like anything they want. In my retention guide, I call this, I have a heading, give girls experiences they've never had before. And that's what, just by virtue of you being an older guy dating younger girls, you just naturally do that. Contrast that with a woman who's in her 30s. She's probably tried a lot of that stuff. You won't be the guy who gives her those new experiences. You will have to, because she's dated a lot more, she has higher expectations. And fair enough, just like I have higher expectations in my 30s, you have to do a lot more to impress her. So it takes a lot more for her to want to keep seeing you. That has certainly been my experience and the experience of the other guys that I've dated. I'm not even going to fucking edit that out. That was fucking hilarious. The other guys that I've dated, sure. We'll just go with that. I won't even correct it. I won't even say the other guys I've coached. We'll just say the other guys I've dated. The other guys that I've fucked in the ass and just like rammed my dick straight in there, just like some full-on gay shit, like making out, just fucking two guys just going hard. Those guys, their experience... Their experience has been... I've lost my point. Whatever. You get the fucking point. I just can't even... I can't even go on after that. That's some gay shit. If you're gay, more power to you. Fuck yeah. Reminds me of a joke. Like, my city is like super fucking progressive. And like everyone's always like clambering over each other to show that they're like into gay pride and all that sort of stuff. Every business has like rainbow flags and rainbow stickers on the front saying like, you know, we welcome everyone into this business. And it's like, what? Like, so you're not discriminating based on like sexuality. Good on you. Like good job. Like, I'm so proud of you. Someone wants to fuck another guy and you're going to like let him into your business. Like, wow, that's so progressive of you. That's just called being a fucking normal person, you fucking psycho. Anyway, one of my mates on his, like when we were at the height of like debating whether a gay marriage should come, he's just like the kind of person who just loves to troll people and piss everyone off. So he posted a Facebook post that ended up going viral where he just said like, I support gay rights. I love the fags. And I was like, dude, that's so fucking politically incorrect. Like, Jesus Christ. I fucking loved it though. Yeah. What point are we up to? Jesus Christ. Number 10. I hope to God I haven't skipped any. I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure I was on number 9 before. Number 10. And then I said all the gay stuff about fucking guys in the ass. I didn't mean any of that. Like, I'd never fuck a guy in the ass. Like, that's gay. I'd just give him a blowjob or something. Number 10. They tend to have less issues, less baggage. That's like just, that goes without saying. I have more baggage as a 30-year-old man. I think I handle it pretty well. And there's several reasons for that. I'll come back to that in a second. Generally speaking, if you're a 35-year-old woman and you're single and you don't want to be single, let's add that caveat. If you're a 35-year-old woman who's single, who doesn't want to be single, there's probably something wrong with you. Like at that point, you've had a long time to settle down and you're probably, I don't know, a combative person. Maybe you have your own issues. Maybe you're too fussy. Maybe you just pick bad men. Maybe you have no idea how to screen for what you're looking for, like a guy that wants to settle down with you. So you keep getting used. You keep having these casual relationships. Like there is probably some reason that you are a 35-year-old single woman who doesn't want to be single. Now, if you're a 30-something-year-old woman who wants to be single, fine, that's a different story. But there aren't that many of those women. There just aren't. There aren't that many 30-something-year-old guys who want to be single. Like, I'm not the exception, but I'm like one of the exceptions. Me as a 30-something-year-old man who says he will never be monogamous. Shut the fuck up. There was a calendar reminder. You shut the fuck up. I'm talking. Me as a 30-something-year-old man who doesn't want to be monogamous, who wants to have like an open relationship with my girlfriend where we see girls together, like, and we're going to do that for the rest of our lives. Like I'm the exception there. Like most 30-something-year-old guys want a monogamous relationship. I understand that most people who come to my website, getting laid is a phase for them. Having a lot of sex is a phase for them. Most of my coaching clients want a monogamous relationship eventually. They want wife, they want to settle down, they want all that shit like eventually in the future. I'm like the stepping stone to help them get there. What the fuck point was I making? Sometimes I get lost. Yeah, so if you're a 35-year-old woman and you're single and you don't want to be single, something's gone wrong there. Generally speaking, if you're over 30 as a woman and you're single, you don't want to be, so you are looking for something. So again, there's something probably gone wrong there. There's some reason why things haven't worked out. Maybe that's just bad luck, fine. But that's going to come with its own baggage and problems, and you're going to naturally bring those to any guy that you date as a 30-something-year-old woman who's single, who doesn't want to be. If you're the guy who dates that woman, it's like she's going to be quiet. She's going to be like closed off a little. She's going to be reserved, of course, because she can't afford to like jump in there and just go for it and be spontaneous and give you everything right away and be vulnerable. That would be stupid of her. Like that would actually be stupid if she's in her 30s and she's trying to find someone to date. Like that would just be retarded. Why would you risk getting hurt? Whereas a 20-year-old or an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old can do that. They can be spontaneous. They can risk getting their heart broken because they haven't had it before. They don't have as much baggage. They're not going to be as closed off. Now, earlier I said it's different for a 30-something-year-old guy who is going out and dating women because, like in my case at least, I don't have the baggage that a 30-something-year-old woman has because I want to be dating new women. I already have a girlfriend. I've had plenty of threesomes. I like meeting new girls. We like meeting girls together. Like, I don't have baggage. I'm not sitting around wishing that that a woman would marry me or something like that. There will be some women like that. The counter argument to that would be like, yeah, but what about women who just want to like experience lots of dates and, be open? In my experience, those women are so hard to find. And I have tried so fucking hard because I'm attracted to older women. Like, I'm not as attracted versus an 18-year-old, but I'm still really attracted. There are a fuck ton of hot 30-year-old women. Like, holy fuck. There's a lot of hot 40-year-old women. Less so, but there are a few out there. I would love to find a woman who wants open relationships, who wants to just see other guys as well as me, who wants to do her own thing, who wants to have threesomes with girls with me. I would love to find that woman. I'm yet to find that woman. I found 2 so far. 2. Ever. Out of like, how many girls have I slept with at this point? 100 and fucking, I've lost count. Let's just say 140. That's the number I give because I think that's roughly right. I've found 2 women who are in their 30s and were like, seemed completely independent and completely okay and didn't seem to have any baggage and were fine with me seeing other girls and all that. So if you want that kind of thing, if you don't want the baggage and you want to date younger women, fucking go for it. That's another good reason to date younger women. Younger women tend to be more affectionate for all of the reasons that we've said above. They're just younger, they're carefree, they're more feminine, they have less baggage. You're exciting and new. They want to give you lots of cuddles and kisses and sex and everything is nice and they like holding hands, especially if you're seeing a girl who hasn't really dated anyone at all. Like, if you happen to be dating a girl who's a virgin, that's like literally taking someone to Disneyland for the first time and they didn't even know Disneyland existed. Like the first time you hold their hand, they'll just start giggling. The first time you kiss them, they'll want to kiss you for like 5 hours and not do anything else because it's just so amazing and exciting to them. And like you get to be a part of that. That's like fun as fuck. Like it reminds you of what you used to be like. It's like nostalgia. You go like, yeah, I remember the first time I had a kiss. Like that was really magical. And you get to like experience that with them. And you can like pause and be like, are you liking this? And she'll just be like, yeah, this is like amazing. I didn't know it was like this. Can I have more? And like, it doesn't have to be like a girl who's a virgin, just like any girl who hasn't had a lot of experience, like which is every 18 to 19 to 20-year-old. Even if she's like slept with like 5 guys, that's not a lot of experience if she only saw them like a couple of times each. Like there's a million things she hasn't tried. Whereas an older woman has probably tried most of it. Just like I've tried a lot of things at this point. So if you do something, if you just make out with me, that's not that, like it's fun. I love it. It's hot. It's sexy, but it's not like amazing and novel to me, just like it's not going to be novel and amazing to a 30-something-year-old woman. Number 12. Younger girls tend to be more energetic, more bubbly, more excitable, just like I was at 19. Like everyone has more energy and bubbly at 19. God fucking damn it, I forgot that this thing cuts off. Has a certain recording time. You know why that is? That's government intervention. Go look that up. That's literally government intervention. All DSLR cameras can only record for, I think it's 24 minutes and 99 seconds, because in the EU, there's tax laws that say if you record for longer than that, you count as a video camera and then you have to pay higher taxes. So Jesus Christ, every single DSLR, every single one with the exception of like one that I think Panasonic makes, can only record for 24 minutes and 99 seconds or whatever it is. And it's literally because of fucking government tax bullshit. Jesus fucking Christ. Way to fuck it up for the rest of us. So number 12, let's go over that again. Younger girls tend to be more energetic, more bubbly, and older women is just less so. I have less energy in my 30s than I did when I was younger. So as I said before, if you're looking for that kind of young, carefree energy, which I think a lot of us are, that's the reason that we want to date women. We're busy working on our mission. We've got 50 other goals we're doing. We want some nice, soft, fun, feminine, carefree energy. And younger girls give you that. It's a little harder to get that from an older woman. Again, with all of these, if you want to date older women, like, fuck yeah, go for it. Like, I will champion your cause. If you're an older woman and you're thinking like, oh, but like, this is all just like so disrespectful. It's like, I'm not saying that you're undateable. And you might be the great older woman. Like, I've met plenty of them. There are plenty of them. This article and this video are for if you want to date younger women and you feel weird about it, blah, blah, blah. Number 13, they tend to be inexperienced. I've covered this a lot already. I won't go over it too much. You get to experience new stuff with them, just like I've said a million times. It's like taking someone to Disneyland for the first time. You get to see all their excitement, their energy. It's just fucking fun to be sharing that. Number 14. This kind of goes back to the first point of being ethical. Your values, or I should say what you're looking for, tends to be a lot more in line with what they're looking for. So if you are at a point where you're looking for something a little more casual and fun, you will absolutely get that from a younger girl. An older woman, even if she says she wants something casual, my experience has been 99.9% of them secretly hope that like, maybe this will be different. Maybe this guy will be the guy that we end up like being with for a long time. A younger girl isn't really thinking about that shit. She's generally speaking like thinking, I just want something fun. That's different in super conservative countries maybe. Even then, a younger girl is still more likely to have some fun than an older woman. Yeah, an older woman is looking to settle down to some extent. She's at the point in her life where she's a bit more serious. I'm like that. I've written fucking articles. Go look on my website for an article called Eventually You Will End Up Settling Down. And I talk about all of this sort of stuff about like, I'm starting to get to a point where I'm starting to settle down. I have a lot less sex than I used to. Yes, I still have some foursomes and threesomes. That's pretty much just so I can write exciting stories from my website. I haven't had sex with a new girl. My girlfriend and I haven't had sex with a new girl. Any girl, actually, other than each other for about 3 or 4 months at this point. And most of that is because of all the lockdown stuff from this, like, you know, this crap. Yeah. Number 15. Younger girls tend to be a lot less judgmental. That's harks back to a point I said before. They tend to be just like more open-minded. They'll listen to your opinion on different things. They'll be swayed a little more. Like you can convince them a lot easier. They don't tend to have like preconceived notions. Or if they do, they're not so firm in them because they haven't had enough years to like reinforce them. So like I said, even girls that are feminists, you can just be like, don't you think that feminism is sexy? Sexy, Jesus Christ. Some of these faux pas I'm making are actually fucking hilarious. Like these are actually fucking hilarious. Feminism is sexy. Feminism, you can say to a girl, don't you think feminism is sexist? Like, don't you think it's sexist to focus only on women and ignore men? And a younger woman will sit there and be like, oh, maybe. Actually, yeah, why did I never think of that? That's kind of sexist. You say it to a 30-year-old woman and she's more likely to be like, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't understand. Like, I've been thinking about this because she's been thinking about it and reinforcing her viewpoints for like 20 years. So she's probably more firm in them. Just like I am more firm in my viewpoints. How many people know this about me already? Like, you try and convince me of a lot of things and I just like don't listen to you. Like, how many people have given me suggestions on something and I'm just like, no, that's not what I'm going to do. And they're like, why? But it's a great idea. I'm just like, no, because I already know what I'm going to do. Like, whereas as a 19-year-old, I would just be getting pulled in every direction. I'd be like, oh my God, I should do what this guy says. Oh wait, no, this other guy said something different. I should do that. I should just do whatever anyone tells me. And now that's not to say that 20-year-olds are just completely fucking submissive and pathetic and will do whatever you want and you can stand on them and treat them like a doormat. But they tend to go with the flow a little. They're more open-minded. They will listen to you and they tend to be a lot less judgmental and like stuck in their ways. And even when they seem judgmental, it's really easy to just open their mind and be like, you know, you just have to throw like one little nugget of information out there and they tend to go like, oh yeah, Like I said, my girlfriend was a fucking feminist and now she's like the most hardcore libertarian, like conservative, like she's done a complete fucking 180 because she's like open-minded. She listens to the information. She goes and does her own research and comes back and says like, oh, I think you were actually correct about that thing you said. Whereas a 30-year-old is less likely to do that. Where are we up to now? Number 16, more feminine, a lot nicer. They're just more like friendly, I find, younger girls than older women. That is not to say that there aren't some lovely, friendly, fucking amazing 30-year-old women. Of course there are. But we're looking for we're generalizing here and we're looking for traits. And if you are wanting to date younger girls, this is a great reason to. They tend to be less bossy. And I know a lot of like, not older women say this, feminists say this, like a bunch of people say this, like, oh, what, you can't handle a woman who's like stands up for herself. It's like, again, I said it earlier, it's just nice not to have some domineering, bossy person in your life. I always use the example, I say this to, older women or feminists, people who complain about this stuff. I say like, would you want a guy who was domineering and just argumentative and argued with everything you say? And they'd be like, no. That would be an asshole. Why would I want that asshole? It's like, yes, thank you. We don't want that from women. Like, nobody wants someone who's domineering and bossy and just argues with everything. Older women tend to be a little more likely to be like that. Again, not all of them. Younger women, there are some fucking bossy asshole younger women, but they're far less common. Like it's night and day. There's just so many less of them. So if you are looking for a younger woman, you want to date her, like this is a really great reason to do it. They just haven't had enough time to build up that like confidence and that bossiness. It's really hard to be an 18-year-old and be really like bossy and confident because you kind of know everyone's older than you. You shouldn't really like, you're not that sure about the world. You don't know if your viewpoints are like correct yet. It's really hard to be a bossy, domineering 18-year-old. Number 17. Lucky last, boys and girls. And this is probably the most important one. And this is kind of what I told my client. The whole premise of this video was, if you want to date younger women, here's the reasons why. Because you want to. I'm a staunch libertarian myself. And if you don't know what a libertarian means, that means I believe in your choices, your freedom, you doing whatever the fuck you want to do, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else. I will always champion your rights. If you want to be the most like crazy Christian, conservative, Bible belter, like Bible thumping person from the Bible Belt, like fuck yeah, I'm all about that. Fucking do that. As long as you don't like affect anyone else, fuck yeah, go for it. And then right next to you, if you want to just like be the most like progressive, like gay, rainbow wearing, like piercings all over your face, like fucking other men in the ass and calling them beautiful. Like if you want to fucking do that, like absolutely fucking go for that. Like go for it. More power to you. Like everyone should do whatever the fuck they want. And I am absolutely on board with that. If you want to date younger women and nobody's getting hurt, everybody's consenting, the women are happy, the younger girls are happy, you're not manipulating them, you're not lying to them, you're not acting in bad faith, you're being a decent person, you're being upfront, you're saying, look, I want something casual, I'm going to see other girls. Like, as long as you're doing all that shit, like, do it because you want to. Like, you don't need to tell someone else your reasons why you want to date younger women. You don't need to defend yourself. If you want to, send them this article or send them this video, but you want to date younger women, so you should date younger women. Nobody's getting hurt. Do what you want to do. It's your life. Other people are going to hate you no matter what you do. Trust me on that. Jesus fucking Christ knows I get a lot of hate. People will criticize you no matter what you do. You just need to live your own life, do your own thing, ignore the haters. They're going to hate you no matter what. You may as well make them hate you for a decent reason and live your life in the meantime. If they're going to hate you, fuck it. Just say like, fine, hate me for at least doing the things that I want to do. As long as you're happy and she's happy, that's all that matters. As long as you're adding to each other's lives, even in a small way, you just have a bit of fun, a bit of casual sex together and it's fun. That's a good addition to her life. That's a good addition to your life. Yeah. This is my first video. I hope it went okay. Let me know if it didn't. Let me know if I rambled too much. It's going to be a fucking long video. Jesus, this is going to be like a 30 fucking minute video. Let me know. Okay. Here's one thing you can help me with. At the end of all these videos, I want to do like some sort of like funny outro. It doesn't have to be the same in every video. It can be different. You guys can even suggest a different outro in each video. Like, it can be like that. I can like make another gay joke about me fucking other men's assholes. I can take a piss on the camera if you want, although I think that will get me flagged because like you can't pull your penis. I think you can't pull your penis out on YouTube. I think. Unless you're like a leftist, and then you can. I think then you can. Oh shit, I said the word leftist. I'm probably going to get this video deleted. Fuck. Yeah, so suggest like a funny video or a funny outro to the videos if you want, and I'll do that. Yeah, boys and girls, I love you all very much, and I hope you all have a happy and wonderful, beautiful life. And like, remember to like and comment and subscribe and share. You know what? I fucking hate that. I've made a promise that I won't say like and share and subscribe and all that sort of shit. If I ever do that, like you guys, I know I just said that ironically. If I ever do that shit, you guys can like just fucking straight up murder me because that fucking shit is bullshit. If you want to share the video, fucking share the video. I'm not gonna fucking tell you like you're some little peasant. Like, do my fucking bidding, bitch. He's coming. He's coming to give you a kiss. He's gonna give you a fucking kiss, boys. Mwah.